On this map tonight, Stephanie.
But Larry, those suburban voters that Steve just talked about, Glenn Youngkin wants to bring in those suburban voters and also bring in those new Trump voters. I can't imagine those two voters have much in common.
Well, they don't have a lot in common, except they may not like President Biden. They may not like what they're seeing on Capitol Hill with the congressional Democrats. And if they're traditional Republicans, they also want to win because they've had 10 years of nothing but losses. That tends to energize people when they think they finally have a chance to win. Your team's been losing for years, and suddenly you're in the championship game and you're ahead.
Well, Larry, what just happened? Because you've characterized this race as leaning Democratic since the spring. Yesterday, you switched it to lean Republican. Why? What now?
Yeah, and the leans were small in both cases, and the lean to Republicans is certainly small. We'll see. Look, it boils down to this, and Steve was hinting at this. There's simply a lot more Democrats than Republicans in the new Virginia. There's just no question about it. Both parties agree. But it's always a question of which voters from the pool actually show up. And Democrats have had a terrible time this fall, mainly because of what's going on in Washington, getting Democratic voters excited. Now, maybe they're getting excited at the last minute and the Democratic turnout will be larger on Election Day than expected. They did get one additional push last night when Donald Trump, through a tele-rally, endorsed enthusiastically Glenn Youngkin for, it was either the 6th or 7th or 8th time, depending on how you read it. But it is the last piece of new information that some voters or potential voters are getting this morning.
Tonight, Larry, the talk is that this race is going to indicate how the midterms will go. But by all accounts, it sounds like this race is really, really tight. If it's decided by just a point or two, can you really draw any national conclusions?
Well, I always caution people don't draw national conclusions a year in advance from one state's race. Of course, nobody ever listens, and they do it anyway. So every pundit, including me, I'm sure will say things that will prove to be untrue. It is true, though, that over the years, Virginia, in most cases, has indicated which party will end up winning the midterm elections, but doesn't suggest magnitude. And sometimes it doesn't work at all. In 2013, when McAuliffe won his first term, a lot of Democrats said, oh, thank goodness, I don't think 2014 will be all that bad. The Democrats were clobbered. They lost the Senate. So there are plenty of cases where you can't draw a line between the two. And there are other cases, probably more of them, where you can draw a line. But caution is recommended, and now you can throw it to the wind.